right, guys, it is time to talk pros and cons here on the Royal Ramble. For me, this is my favorite part of the show because I get to find out what my co-hosts like, what my co-host does not like. I already know, Sonny, your taste is not that good because you're a fan of Impact Wrestling, but I digress. John?
Subjective.
John, I'm going to let you pick. Are we going to start with pros or cons tonight?
Let's start with pros.
Okay, we are going to start with pros. And for those of you guys tuning in for the first time, the way we do this, I start a 10-minute timer. We throw our pros out, and we got 10 minutes to get our shit in, so to speak. And, yeah, it's pretty simple. I'm going to start a timer, and go ahead and start it now. So go ahead and get started, whoever would like to start.
Let the new guys go ahead.
Ladies first, Sonny.
All right, my pro. I know it isn't this week, but given that we weren't on air last week, I'm going to say it was Alexa Bliss and the fireball to Randy Orton's face.
I could piggyback off
Loved
of that
it.
because one of my pros this week was the mask and the promo Randy cut at the beginning of Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
At first, when I first turned it on, I was like, who the hell is that? Oh, it's Randy Orton. And I just thought that was very tastefully done. Hopefully they don't fuck it up. Hopefully they have him wrestle at the Rumble with the mask on, kind of let it marinate for a little while. But that's just my
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was cool. That's Jim Cornette stuff right there. The fireball. That was pretty cool. I did like that.
Double cheese, double onion.
Well, I'm going to
And it was
spit it out to everybody here. My pro of the week is going to be Kenny Omega and what he's been doing all across the wrestling world over the last few weeks. Loving the notoriety that Kenny's bringing to Impact, getting him a little bit of extra exposure. Love the cross promotional stuff that they're doing. Love the Tony Khan, Tony Schiavone promos on Impact. And I love the Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley feud. One of the most slept on and underrated feuds of 2020 and into 2021.
I
Fair
agree.
enough. I'm not going to step all over your pro, but I'm still having a hard time with Kenny Omega. I didn't know Kenny Omega until he got to AEW. And I'm not like Corny because Corny's bitter about everything. Corny's bitter about everything. But there's just so many little nuances about Kenny Omega that I'm like, stop it. Stop doing that. Just quit doing that. And he gives the rub to Impact, but I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing. I don't know if what's Impact going to do for him. I mean, for me, it's kind of taking away some stock from Kenny doing that, which I know ultimately it's not Kenny, it's Tony Khan and all that. But I don't know. I'm anxious to see where it goes because I'm not buying in yet. That's just me though.
And
Where do we think it's going to end up though? What's the ultimate payoff, Tommy? What do you think?
On that, I think it's going to help Impact because you got the Good Brothers over there, and you got Omega, and you got kind of the old Bullet Club together. I mean, Omega's coming out with a Bullet Club T-shirt Saturday night, so maybe he'll get New Japan in on the mix, and then we just have one big show like it should be.
Okay. We mentioned Darby Allin a little bit ago. One of the pros for me was the amazing ass whooping that he took on Dynamite last week. Good Lord, how's the guy even walking the next day? You know what I mean?
Took a beating like that. That's just wild. The finish, even like that, the surprise finisher with the crucifix roll up, that was kind of cool. Like I said, took a beating and then boom, out of nowhere.
The believability makes it hard sometimes because how can we expect that Brian Cage, the jacked up genetic freak that he is, getting beat by a Darby Allin? Yeah, the end kind of saves with the roll up, but I just can't buy into it. Brian Cage would kill him 99.99 times out of 100.
Right. Well, it's the David and Goliath, and David won that one. So.
Yes, he did.
But if you're a Darby fan like me, you were sitting there worried as all hell that he was going to lose and waiting for that moment. So the fact that it didn't happen was awesome.
Yeah, the booking is right there for sure. John, what you were talking about, I kind of take it back to the whole Rey Mysterio comeuppance.
Yep.
I know it's a different style and all this and that. It is hard to believe that. They did the weigh-in. I thought that was stupid. Why would you highlight how much larger this man is? Obviously, we can see it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And do it a week before the match.
Yeah.
Not even the night of. He did the week before. It's like, Darby could have ate a couple cheeseburgers and gained a pound or two or something,
Tell you
He
what,
was bulking up to 175 pounds.
Right. Went to
John,
Square
you got any
Circle
more
Burger and got
pros?
him a burger.
What was that, John?
I said, do you got any more pros?
Oh, I would have to say too. I think I like the evolution of what Randy Orton's been doing and the whole feud with him and the Fiend. I wasn't a big fan of the gasoline shit, but I think it's paid off really well for him, and I really like to see the evolution of Randy Orton's character. I don't think people give him enough credit for how really good he is.
I'm with you 100%. I feel like Randy Orton is one of the most known unsung heroes in professional wrestling, and has been for a long time. He's kind of like Chris Jericho in a lot of ways. No matter what you give him, it seems like he makes it work. I was against. I'm on the other side with the gasoline and the fire. I love that shit, but that was the old pyro.
Yeah, me too.
That was the old pyro in me coming out, I guess.
Yeah, it makes him more exciting because there for a while it seemed like Randy Orton was boring.
Yeah, he was going through the motions there for a little while.
Yeah,
right.
and then here he is working with the Fiend, and I think Bray Wyatt can make a mop look good. I mean, it's just amazing how that
He
man
wears
can.
a mop on his head, don't he?
Yeah.
John, could you grow some dreadlocks in like Bray?
I could rock some dreadlocks.
All right.
I'm gonna let my hair grow a little longer. I'll show you guys later in the season.
Yeah, let's see over time. We want to see those long locks.
We'll get it.
No, you
All
don't
right.
want to see
I'm a
that.
little less fortunate up top there, but I'll do
That's
what
as much lock as you're going to get out of that man right there.
I mean, I don't think the Ramblers want to see it, but I guess I could put my pubes in some dreadlocks if you really wanted me to.
No, definitely don't want to see that one.
Okay. Sonny, you got any more pros? I hope you don't say my pubes and dreadlocks.
Absolutely not.
Okay, cool.
Another moment I liked this week was on Being the Elite and watching the Dark Order. Their bit was hilarious yet again. I think that's why maybe we saw John Silver get as many votes. He's over on Being the Elite like no one else. And it's nice to see after they were grieving the loss of Brody Lee that they're kind of regrouping and still having fun with it. So that was a feel-good moment for me.
Fair enough. I don't want to sound like a heartless bastard, but how long does this go on? Do you know what I mean? I'm not being a dickhead saying that. Some people may take it as that, but I appreciated the show they had where they put John Huber over. That was amazing, and they're giving his boy the contract and the belt, but I just hope they don't ride it out too long. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's only there for what, 6 months, 7 months, and
We got a minute and a half, guys. I got to throw a couple hot ones out real quick. I'm so glad Nakamura's babyface again. Now I get to sing to his song when he comes to the ring. Ric Flair with Lacey Evans, I think that's very interesting. I'm anxious to see where they're going to go with it. Gilbert versus Bernard from Santa Claus on Raw last night. That was hilarious to me. I popped. Blah, blah. Me and my sons was watching it. We cracked up. And then the last pro I have written down is, I hope I pronounced her name right, Tay Conti. Is that her name?
Yep.
Tay Conti or Ty Conti?
Ty Conti, whatever. Anyway, her her willingness to share her lower half with us with that lackluster ring attire she wore. I really appreciated that. 30 seconds, guys. If you got them, throw them out.
What?
Rooster.
I'm just trying to figure out why he was talking about that last part.
Oh, you got to look that up, Tommy.
I had to load that one up. Where was that at?
That was right there in my living room.
Oh, shit.
Yes, it was.
It was
Must have been when I was
that was
on
Impact.
tour.
That was AEW, wasn't it? Is that what, yeah, that's where they were at, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I know which one you're talking about now.
All right, guys. Well, time's up. That's all the time we have for pros this week. Ramblers, I see you in the comments there. I'm sorry we cannot get to you right now. We got a lot to get to tonight. I see you in there, and I appreciate you chiming in. Lyndon, Ben Cliff.
Ben Cliff?
Ben Cliff's in here. Cody Green's in here. Kenny Dunn. Really appreciate you guys tuning in, coming back with us. Now it's my favorite time, and I'm going to start this one. This is the weekly cons, and boy, oh boy, do I have some stuff to talk about. For starters, I'm going to pick on Eddie Kingston. I've heard of this guy for a long time. Didn't want to know who he was, and I finally watched him wrestle last week, and I was not impressed. To me, he looks like a hometown indie wrestler that works at the local grocery store. His facials, I thought, was overdone in the ring. Maybe if they get him in there and give him a little bit more time to shine, maybe I'll feel differently. But I was not impressed at all. I'm probably the minority, but that's just how I felt.
And he was like one of the top 10 wrestlers, like number 10 in the top 10 wrestlers of 2020. Did you see that?
No, I did not see that. But
Yeah.
John, are you a fan of Eddie Kingston?
You know, Eddie's got a good story. He's got good mic skills, but you can only take him in doses, in my opinion. He's a guy that's never really stayed long at certain places because I think he gets stale on people. And it's hard for me to take him serious when I see him in that Spirit Squad costume coming out to the ring, too. It's just, it turns me off of him a little bit.
Fair enough, fair enough. Sonny, are you a fan of Eddie?
I am of his promo work for sure. He can cut a promo like nobody else in this
What about that
business right
dad
now.
bod? You like that dad bod he got right?
I don't. You know what? I really wish that he had this opportunity, that he would have gotten in better shape. Like, this is a huge opportunity for him, and he's not presenting well at all. But I mean, in Impact, he was used mostly as a mouthpiece for LAX. And that's kind of where I see him still.
I remember when he first came on Impact, it was like James Storm, and I forgot who the other guy was, and some guy that we don't know his name when they had the masks on. I can't remember what part that was. But
Number
yeah.
15, probably.
Yeah, probably.
John, what was the con for you this week, my friend?
I'll tell you, I got to go with anything that they're doing with The Miz and John Morrison is the most cringy shit in the world to me. And I'm a fan of The Miz. I've always been a supporter of him. But this stuff is a 15-minute waste of fucking time, multiple times a week. It's just absolutely dreadful stuff. The Money in the Bank shit they're doing with him is the worst. It's embarrassing. I can't believe they put this shit out there sometimes.
I can't disagree with you because I love The Miz. And hell, I've enjoyed a lot of Morrison's work through the years.
Yeah.
But this whole
Yeah.
say the thing when I say it, dumb shit, I hate that. And The Miz deserves so much more because whenever they had him on top working with John Cena, I thought he was great. You know, I kind of felt like he was going to be the next JBL. And next thing you know, they pushed him back down the card again. I don't get it. But
You know what a complete waste of time is Raw Talk and Smack Talk.
I haven't watched them. I don't have that kind of time on my hands, Tommy.
You don't need to watch them. That's like the boringest programs that WWE puts
Is
out.
that proper English? Boringest? Programs. How you spell boringest?
Hey, it's Rooster Talk. You should know
You
that.
making us West Virginia boys look bad, Tommy. Come on now. You got to enunciate, son. Hey, did I mention I'm glad you got the show back for me, buddy?
Oh, hey, I'm glad I got it back for you, buddy.
Yeah, me too, man.
All
Sonny,
that
what's the
New
con for
Japan
you
money.
this week?
Impact's hard to kill. The
Hard to
whole
watch, you
card.
mean?
Absolutely. For someone who covers Impact every week on Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops, oh my God. Like, you make me regret my decision there. Terrible.
I tried to watch some of the Hard to Kill. I think a lot of it for me, which I always go back to with Impact, and I can't help it, but I've been spoiled. Nothing against indies at all, but it's got an indie production value to it.
Yes, it does.
It's not as crisp as it could be. You know what I mean?
That's because
Well,
they don't have
and-
just us production.
Exactly. But I think too, at Hard to Kill was the first time that they've used piped in audio. That was really distracting. I don't know why they went with it there. They didn't need it. They haven't been using it the whole time since COVID. So that was really frustrating. The send off to Ethan Page was terrible.
You didn't like the Karate Man?
I like Karate Man, but I mean, that was so cheesy. It was too cheesy. And then he gets his heart ripped out. Like, for someone who was a good draw for Impact as part of the North, that's a terrible send off, especially when you give the Rascals like a special match and they get to like go backstage with them and celebrate their moment.
So
Why
he
the
used to be
Rascals
he used to be in the
Page?
North. He used to be in the North.
Yes,
So now
Yeah.
is he going to the South?
I think so.
Okay.
I think the whole show went to the South.
It was terrible.
Yeah, I that was the last straw for me. I was watching that and the Karate Man bullshit come across there, and I was like, nah, I can't do this right now.
So you didn't
you
see
know
the
what?
Omega match then?
Yeah, I did. I watched it, and I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I don't see what somebody mentioned in the chat. It might have been Lyndon said they were sharing talent, yada yada. I've been against sharing talent for a long time. We used to talk about it here on the show about them working with New Japan and Impact, and I think AEW don't need to work with these other promotions. They need to be standalone promotions. But then again, at the same time, you get that shock value, like Don Callis coming in, Kenny Omega turning heel, and then shagging ass out of the building. You don't get that, but
Right.
I mean, I could go on and on about that. I'm not going to, but
I see this as Omega doing Callis a favor because they are personal friends.
that's because Don Callis got some pictures of Omega back in the day, and he said, if you,
What about for a good
everyone-
win?
Perhaps.
I got to go with the AEW women's division in that last match between Abaddon and Hikaru Shida. I mean,
once,
they doing here with this
that's
division?
not been in the past week. You know, Sonny did that earlier also. I'll give it to you guys, but you're right.
It was last week, wasn't it?
I hate it because was it last week?
Yeah, I think it was last
on
week.
I think so.
Okay, I apologize.
last
I
week.
apologize. But you're right. I mean, I want to like Abaddon because I like her character, but go learn how to work first, and then come back.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing over there, and they have great trainers over there to teach them. And I know they said that Dustin Rhodes has been working with them, and of course everybody knows his pedigree. But it's like they take one step forward and 5 steps back often with the women's division over there.
I love
They-
that Paul Abdul song. That's my
It's just
favorite.
the rest is just trash. It's terrible.
You're right. And I was hoping that they were going to put a highlight on the women's division and make it shine the way it could shine because there's a lot of great women wrestlers out there. But I don't know. I could go on.
AEW honestly does have one of the best women's wrestlers in the world with Hikaru Shida over there. And
Right.
she's tremendous, but the supporting cast around her, this is
Boring. Well,
Oh, I like
I bet
Sheeta.
you like Riho too. Don't
So do
you?
I.
Hell no, I don't like Riho. She can stay in Stardom and never come back. Oh God, no, thank you.
I like Abaddon. I don't know. I was a fan of her from the beginning. I like her.
Did you meet her too, Tommy?
No, not yet. Give me time.
We ain't got
They were
much time
sharing-
left. I'm going to throw a couple more out real quick. I'm kind of indifferent about the Asuka Alexa thing. I'm still unsure why they didn't put Nikki Cross and Alexa's character in her position right now. I feel like that would have been a lot more entertaining. Nothing against Alexa. I love Alexa. But she doesn't need that. Nikki Cross needs something right now.
Yes.
It pisses me off that you got NWA Women's Champ Serena Deeb on Dynamite. Why don't we have Nick Aldis on Dynamite? Damn it. If we're going to share talent, let's do it right.
I say I'd
Yeah,
probably
he
be
only
coming
did
through.
he only did the one All Elite event so far, and that was the initial one.
I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, that's the that's the cons in a nutshell, guys.
Did you ding? Oh yeah, you dinged.
I dinged.
It's time to
Now
take your pill, John.
I gotta take my pill now. Okay.